When you got people around you that be more than fam, that's a phenomenon.
We call you orbit man. Solar wind in my solar sail, moving at the speed of light. Now I'm out here glowing like a comet tail.
Josh, I don't know. Do we start with Orbit instead? I know it's a second.
No, no, no. Start with Rags.
Start with Rags. Okay.
Start with Rags, because man, you sent me an older version of this. I remember I was driving, and I was like, all right, let me see what E-Man's up to. And then I remember I called you instantly after I heard this one. I was like, E-Man, who is this? I was like, who is this? Because this was, I mean, in terms of your delivery, the rhythm, the rhymes, everything. I was just floored when I heard this originally, and then you were like, "Yeah, I need you to do some piano," and I was like, "There's already piano on there. I don't know what I'm supposed to do."
I'm like, I
But
want to remove that and then put you on it, right?
but I mean, this one, I didn't know originally it was going to be a part of this EP, but
I didn't know either. I don't
this
think the
was,
EP existed at that point.
but I was I mean, I'm always bought into doing stuff to making music with you, but this one I was like, oh, we're doing something a bit different this time.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was excited about that. I was like, oh my gosh, I got to step up my game. I was like, I got to match his level because he's up somewhere else now, and it was great, and I was so excited to hear that for the first time, and then getting to work on it, man. I don't know how much you want to get it, but man, I had so many takes on this one.
You had so many takes. Oh, like yeah, yeah.
And
You're
I was
just like,
trying
I
to
need
lay
to get
some
it
of this
perfect.
down,
Yeah.
and I was like, no, it's not perfect because it had to match, what you had done already. So I remember sitting there, I was like 3 hours on this one little lick because I mean, and like 42 times, I'm serious. I think I counted 42 times I tried to play through it, and I just kept getting frustrated because it wasn't sounding the way I wanted it to sound, and I
Yeah.
didn't feel like it matched what you were doing. So yeah.
Dang, I didn't know it was all that. I knew you said you
Yeah,
did a lot of takes, but I know you did 42.
yeah. No, I was in there trying to make sure it was.
So you're right. You didn't know it was going to be part of this because it wasn't. Orbit, I don't think was even an idea yet at that point. It wasn't until you sent the piano,
Uh,
and I think where the turning point started happening for me was right at Run It Back because that was where, and Kyle will probably be able to notice the sharp attempt at turning. I was very much like I took myself to the hat store today and I got myself a hat. Ah, ha, ha, ha. Right, for like the convention music because we were like, we were performing and I made a lot of the music since the same time that I started, doing the hip hop and doing nerdcore was the same time that I started performing at nerd
mhm.
conventions. So, the
Okay.
reinforcement of you get booked if you do this, you do this, you do this. So I caught myself not so much making music that was like for me per se and making a lot of music for other people to enjoy, which,
Mm.
you can tell when it's genuinely like from someone's soul. And so
Mhm.
when we got together and we did Run It Back, like that was so much fun, right? And that was the first spark. And then Kyle, when we did Sega City, right? You were like, this is
Yes,
a lot
yeah.
different from what you had done. And so like I kind of blended those two together. And then from that point, I really just started focusing on like, F it, I'm just gonna make songs that I like and music that I like. And so, Josh, that's probably what you heard was that culmination of it. And
Mhm.
when you sent it back, I was like, I should make this into like a more just a holistic album, but I want to do
Mhm.
it with people who I have collaborated with or know. And then like let's just call it Orbit because I've gotten to this point because I've been able to be surrounded by everybody and supported by everybody
Mhm.
for so many years. And so yeah, 100% absolutely correct.
Wow.
So the background to this song, I'm not going to read this whole thing because I don't want to steal the book experience from people, but this will be coming with the Kickstarter either in the digital version or physical version.
Mhm.
Um, as we will tell you, I'm not like the best at processing negative emotions and like I used to deal with them as like I'll just put them away. And Josh, we had this talk when we were on our run.
Yep.
I've found that because I'm able to express myself with music, but I'd never really done it with lyrics as much, but I catch myself every now and then just writing a few lines because I'm like, oh, I feel some kind of way, whether it's happy, sad, blah, blah, blah. And it gives me like a thoughtful way to get what doesn't necessarily have a tangible like string to it, but put it down and then make it tangible and then read it and kind of refine it and then understand, oh, this is what I was feeling. And so long story short, Josh, you remember me going to Cleveland in the summers, working like straight up 20 hours, sometimes 22 hours over the course of, back to back 3 days. I would sleep for like 40 minutes and get up because I'd get back from the bar.
Working at the bar.
Working at the bar. Sorry. Yeah. I was bar backing.
Yeah,
And then I
big
have to
difference.
close.
Right?
Yeah. Sorry. And then I have to close and then I'd have to get up and then drive out west or east, wherever we were doing the heavy work. And then the funny thing is like one of the summers I was there, you lived around there. So we like had this weird path crossing, but not actually like in each other. We were in each other's orbit, like just faintly. And then 6 years later, we were like faintly in each other's orbit, parking lots next to each other at work.
Yeah.
And then like 2 years after that, we ended up becoming permanently in each other's orbit. So super side tangent, but like the specifics behind this song was like the pushing down of emotions and not dealing with it. And then like it just pops up somewhere else and probably pops up many other places. But the gist of it was there was a guy puking in the bathroom and I'm like, dude, I just got here. I had just like rinsed off all the dirt off my arms from like the paving job and changed, got out of the stall, and this guy's throwing up. I'm like, oh my gosh, it is not even like 7 p.m. and you couldn't even just wait. And so now I had to clean up because I was the bar back. That meant that I was doing anything but bartending. So I mop up stuff, I changed kegs, they had the downstairs area. And I was just so tired. It had been like 4 weeks of this. And so I was just like, I'm about to break down. And I called my dad and I was just like, I want to come home. I don't want to be here anymore, Dad. And I literally started crying. And, Dad will just say, he's so nice. He just says whatever. He's like, oh, come home. We'll figure something out. And I didn't call Mom because you know what she would have said. She'd be like, where are you going to get the money for the tuition? Right? I was like, So I think I needed to hear that. But then I was like, all right, let's go deal with this later. I think I was thinking to myself, deal with it in 2 weeks when you're home. And I just never dealt with it. So, it popped up and I was like, I need to write this out because this is 15, 20-ish years of emotions that are about to come out. And if I don't handle this well, it will come out in other avenues. So yeah, nice. I started, I think I got there was a sample pack that I had and it had some of these. So we broke those out and I sent it to Josh and I was like, hey, I want to replace this. And this is a very personal song to me. So I want to have someone who's close to me play this, and come in and out, and then maybe we could make a whole thing out of it. And yeah, what ultimately culminated was the exact thing that I always feel, and that I think it's why I'm always able to bounce back on things, because if you've been down and dirty, down on the low, and then you always have people around you to get you up, and then you get knocked down again. So the same people get you up, and it's up and down and up and down. Well, then you're like, as long as I got them, there's always a light at the end of the tunnel, even if you can't see it, because you've been proven time and time again. And so that's why I made the song, and that's why it leads off Orbit, because it literally was the thing that kind of created the entire concept of it. So I can play the song, and then maybe JB, you talk a little bit about it, and then Kyle, give you a little overview.
All right.
Sure.
All right.
This might come off as a humble brag song, but that's not what it's meant to be, though.
The older I get, the more I realize how beneficial it's been to use my music and self-reflect, help me process through tough past events in my life in a healthy way. The song's about how being rich isn't about money, but being surrounded by people who love you and care about helping you become the best version of yourself. Some of that stuff is my optimism and positivity, but without people around me helping me believe I'm worthy of what's possible, I wouldn't have been able to overcome the impossible. So let's get it. Rags, riches, triumph's what I'm getting. Scratched all my itches, mentally and when it gets to be. The preparations over the top are helping me overcome the things that trying to stop my entity. So I pause the entropy, stop the wish of my enemies. They wanna see the end of me. They undercover like some black ops. Gotta stay scoped, they pressing on the have-nots. But we got a little luck, we like a shamrock. Son of grinding immigrants, you boys an African. The 90s was a wild time, pause, here comes the ampersand. Didn't have a lot, but I had a lot of backing. Family made it happen, and the homies got it cracking. If you try to hold me down, it's just a hold down. But we through the cracks, you know that I'm a show out. Education everlasting, yeah, to help me climb it up. And when an opportunity showed, I had to grind it up. I remember working 20-hour days. When tuition money calls, gotta find a job that pays. Hopped up on my bike, rode it to the bus. Breaking bricks and pavement, you do just what you must. Hopped up on the train, my body full of pain. Night shift at the bar, clean and puke about the drain. Rinse and repeat, yeah, that's no pun intended. Half an hour sleeping every night, it never ended. They steady blended, but the money was steady stacking up. A juvenile turned to a man, no time to back it up. My best friend know it, he say my smile deadly, keeps him under fire like a machine gun. Kelly, and I can't get Jackson. This ain't no thriller, man. When it's time to get shit done, I'm a stone cold killer, man. No Steve Austin, burning tracks like Kruger, fam. Go check your expectations, you're done in all your limits, man. Stacking up records like an ass in the biz, and I'm the business with class that's everlasting. You can try and lap this kid, but I've tapped into making sure we never trapping. And the track is where your brother's max is. No pain, but the time is what we flashing. I hope you grasping, never thrashing. Like Batman and Robin, we basking in color and tiger slashes. And darkness is dripping out here when my blackness was happening. I'm spitting on this record like I'll never rap again. It had to take the cadence back again, make it slap again. Hear it in this voice that I'm proud to be an African. What happened to the hook is what you're asking. But this song's for when the trash has been classified by the masses. One side will be the racist, and then we add in all the classes. It's kinda magic, they box you in, but then you rise up from all the ashes. Laser focus on what the task is, it led you to the bag, kid. But you always proud to let them know you from that place where the rags come from, and you wear them rags proudly. Yeah, I'm done. You know I gotta make them bad times good times. My bad, forgot to tell you all that I could rhyme. It ain't about the money, my core remains the same. Can't take nothing from me, I'm in my own Hall of Fame, yeah.
says she liked that part. She's back there playing. Hey.
Nice.
Yeah.
So yeah, Josh, what do you got on this?
Man, I don't know. I mean, seriously. I mean, what can I add to it, honestly? To what you've already said.
Right.
I see you emboldening the all the references and
Yeah.
the double entendres, man. That second verse is one of my favorites, and especially when you hold back the hook. Um,
You're like, oh, here it
and
comes.
it
You're like,
just
no, psych.
keeps building, keeps building, keeps building, keeps building, keeps building, and then finally it unleashes. And I think you achieve that really well. Yeah, this one, I'm not a trained piano player, so this was a bit difficult for me because I had to do some things with my left hand that I don't do very well, um, in terms of making sure that the chords were still there, to match what was on the sample. Even though I'm playing a different figuration of the chords, I know that. But I like that kind of switch that we get from what's on the sample and then what I'm doing on there. And it was that last bit that really took some time because that's a lot of movement.
Yeah, yeah. And like I like that in particular. What you just called out the in and out because it literally that's part of why I also made it first because I kept bouncing back and forth between when it would go, but it is like the end where I think that's the only song where we have actual samples like or any like sample packs.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And it starts off with the sample, then you come in and then it goes back to it, but then it mostly goes to you, right? So it's like signifying it's a literal like relay handoff.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, I like that. I didn't even think of it like that.
Yeah.
But I think the other thing about this, the way that um, the way you rap on it, you can get all the emotion that you just talked about in the lead into this. It's all wrapped up there, in your voice. I think my favorite, as you're starting all the references, this ain't no thriller, man, and then the thrilling that you yell,
Oh yeah.
right? The kind of thrill and shout. I mean, while you could take it as funny, I always take it, man, that's like you screaming to get out of that situation.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, I didn't even take it that way, but that's yeah.
Yeah, so I mean that's I hear it like that every single time. Like it's just this like because it's only one time that you really do something like that, and
Yeah.
it's like this desperate cry.
Yeah.
Uh, but I love this track.
That's awesome. Kyle, what do you got? Okay, Murdoch.
Um, yeah, I mean, it was when you first because you had a document that you were like it was so detailed. It was like how my the level I feel it, like as far as my reference mix, and I think this was the one you had like rated the least, like or at the lowest, and I was like, okay. So when I opened it, and then first when I was looking at all the stems and I saw all the stacks that Atlas had done, and I was like, holy cow, this is going to be a pretty robust session.
Yeah.
But it all makes sense, and it's funny because it's a lot of stuff going on that Atlas is doing as far as the hook. He's singing the hook, but it works because like I wanted him to be more not so much in the front, but just like kind of like just part of the music. I didn't want him like standing out so much, but having all those vocals there helps like fatten it and widen it up a little bit so that it's there almost like a texture.
Yeah.
And then so yeah, I mean as far as the engineering part, and then I remember this was the song I think you were like, oh man, I got to send you this with all these drops and stuff, and I was like, yo, just can you tell me the time code and I can just manually do it? And he's like, oh, it's a certain way we did it in the first iteration, but eventually we got it done. We got it straight, and it worked out. And now I see why, because like there's a lot of like almost things I would do live when I'm performing, as far as like dropping out the drums and just bringing certain things in and out. And it was like pretty cool just to hear the arrangement. And then even the biggest thing I marvel on this track is that this is one of the few songs I've heard you just like, I don't know how many bars you did, but it's like you just don't stop. You go all the way through, and it's nice because it's a very like cathartic kind of track. Like you're telling your story. I'm while you were talking just now, reading through like the premise of you like, switching between construction and bar backing, like, man, I was like, it's just a testament to what fuels you to where you are now. And like, the fact you can look back and, yeah, like you said, rags to bags, and just, like, this isn't a humble brag type thing, but like, this is where I was, and this is where I am now, and just kind of like a retrospective looking back. So like, yeah, just hearing all that stuff kind of conveyed very well and executed very well musically was like really cool. So yeah, this is actually probably one of my favorite songs. This, and there's a few that and I'll probably keep saying that, so I got to stop saying that, because every song I'll be like, yo, I really like this song, but I really do. Like, the whole record is really good. And mixing-wise, I think it's probably the best record I've mixed, like,
you killed it.
Ever.
You killed it.
Yeah,
It was so good.
This was really cool.
Yeah.
So anyway.
I mean, you saw Josh's text I sent to you. You said, K Murder killed it per usual.
That's funny. And a lot of people, it's funny with the K Murder. I had someone used to call me K Murder, like Murder Inc. Ja Rule, which is funny because that just seems like a whole nother era. So whenever they see me, they be like, it's murder. And I'm like, dude, I'm from the suburbs of Washington, D.C. There's no murder. I'm from, like, I'm the antithesis of that shit.
Like, I'm just murdering tracks. Stuff. That's it. That's all.
Yeah. So anyway, it's funny when he sent that, I was like, man, I have not heard the K Murder thing in a long time. So, I appreciate it.
Happy to bring it back.
And so,
yeah.
The lack of hook. Do you know where that one came from, Kyle? Do you remember the Jet Grind Radio song we did on Sega City? And that was like the first time that I didn't do a hook.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what I pulled from.
True.
I was like trying to give that same like convey that same type of message too, where it's like no hook now. You saying just for enjoyment, like you're gonna get a message out of this, right?
No. It worked because there's a lot of story to tell too. Like, so it's not like it would have been weird to be like, yeah, I'm just gonna do 16 bars and then go into a chorus and then so it made sense for you to roll all the way through because it builds and like really well too musically. So it's not like it's like, oh my god, like I need a friggin' hook to break this up, like what Josh is doing, and it worked out. So
yeah, it's 32 bars total. The whole second verse is 32 bars. So I did double verse. But my favorite, I tried to make this record like also lyrically have many layers. So there's a lot of like stringing through, even calling back from other verses that are happening, or like the reference seems like it might go just 2 lines, but if you really pay attention, it's a lot of them have like 3 or 4 levels. And I wanted to like make that the replayability, but make it enjoyable so that somebody who doesn't really care about that can listen to it and be like, oh, I enjoy it. And then somebody who likes to like treasure hunt can find it. And like this one, it was one of my favorites with between these two, the Batman and Robin, but the stacking up records like a NAS in the biz. So I use the Synology for my RAID storage, and like you can use it if you have like a small business. Some people use that and like create clusters and like they manage their servers on that, right? So CRM, I'm like stacking up records, but also the track records, and Josh and I, we were captains of the track team in high school, but between those two, you got the records stacking up, customer records though if you're using your NAS for business, and then you have like classes and like metadata that's on there, and then going back to the track thing, you can try and lap me, and then hopping a couple forward, right, the track is where my max is. That's where I always like, if I didn't have anything, I had music and I had running, and no pain, no gain, but then going max pain, bullet times, what we flashing, and going back to the track again, but doing the game reference, I'm running so fast that everyone else looks like they're in slow motion, and then hope you're grasping, never thrashing. And so that's like setting up a combination of like, Josh, do you remember when we would sit in the stands and watch people like in the 400 or like the 300 hurdles, we would like, oh, they got the bear on the back, they got the fridge on the back, where we do the sniping. We would try to pick out people when they were running and they go out too hard, and they would lock up like at 200. They just start thrashing around. So that's
Yep.
that's why that one's for. So that's for us. And here come Fall Down Craig. But
Yeah.
bridging that to like the fights of Batman and Robin, and then going from Robin to Baskin Robbins, lots of color and tighter slashes, Carol Baskin. So the color, and then the darknesses dripping out here with my blackness, right? And then that's when it gets in, like goes back into being like very serious about being proud to be an African, right? Like, and that this was like my absolute favorite because it's like it bridges together, but then it like bridges the song, and then it's referenced even further out through it. So, yeah, this is what is to come on the rest of these. This one probably had some of the deepest ones, other than maybe Vibrations, and Random Shit has a lot, but yeah.
My Helios always rising like I got no Achilles heel. Got my back while I'm out here doing big things, but I'm just getting started. Big bang. Out of space in my orbit now, with the people around me, make the world go round. You're loving me for me, don't gotta do the most. My anti-gravity, yeah, just watch me float. Yeah, I'm the GOAT cause they hold me close. A champion at heart, I need your votes.